Welcome to this retro content from Throwback Thursdays, whether it's from NoDQ.com, the Jeff Meacham Network, Casa D18 Studios itself, a Simple Man's brand, or the JHebert Studios and anything to do with FTW Productions. This will be the content re-aired right here on Throwback Thursdays that you could expect to see on the Casa channel. I know watching back some of our old content, whether it's the open mic night intro where I'm laid on my bed, which I kind of cringe at, especially with this cool-ass setup now, or whether it's, just about anything to do with what we have done on FTW Productions, from a Simple Man's brand, from the JHebert Studios, to even some Insanity Works and Retro Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated stuff. There's some good stuff, there's some cringe stuff, and either way, I hope you guys enjoy that stuff coming up, and, even if you didn't enjoy it, I'll be along with you for the ride. Some of the stuff does not age well, like Jeff's content does. I know he has done a deep dive on his own content and cringed at his own self, but either way, I hope you enjoy it regardless. I know in some of these clips, I have a fondness to them. So with that being said, enjoy this Throwback Thursday, and until next time, we'll see you on the JHebert side.
Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things, and you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a mite or a squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special man.
The following views are strictly the views of JHebert and do not represent the views of everyone that is a part of FTW Productions or works with FTW Productions.
Straight from JHebert Studios, James covers the good, the bad, and the ugly, and gives his perspective on things. Now here is your host, James Hebert. We are live. Hello, everyone. Yes, it's finally time. It's finally time for another JHebert Side of Things. I know it's been a while. And you know what? I originally was just going to have like a one-topic thing like I've had the last few episodes. But you know what? I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing that. I feel like doing multiple topics. And it's been a while. I think the first episode was multiple topics of this show. So you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do multiple topics, and we're just going to kind of wing it. I'm going to do some content updates, kind of update everybody on what's going on content-wise. Just kind of talk about stuff I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Just kind of get it all out there in the open, just because it's my time thing anyway. That's how we're doing this shit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this format. If you do, give a like, give a subscribe, hit that post notification bell. Most importantly, leave comments. Start leaving comments on all of our videos. Let me know what you think of our content, because that would help the algorithm. But it's a big thing. If you comment a lot, helps the algorithm. You can spam multiple comments if you want. I won't ban you. I'll post them all up there. You can leave me hate comments if you hate my guts. I'll post them. Just because it helps my algorithm. Just do it. Go ahead. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a bunch of shit today. Stuff that I have wanted to talk about for a while. I don't know how long this is going to go. It might go a while. This is going to be a JHebert Side of Things open mic night, almost, pretty much. Or a variation of it, if you will. So, yeah, we're going to end it with cat videos because that's how we did it last time. And I think it's kind of good to end on a positive note, or a positive note, excuse me, because, you know what, let me turn my hat backwards. Typically, it's, you know, you want to leave on a positive note anyway. I'm kind of turning over a new leaf where I don't want to end on a negative, although I've kind of been consistent with that, especially on this channel, since Indy Force has been a thing, always end on a positive note than a fucking low note. But yeah, so we're gonna just kind of start. I'm gonna give you the advertised topic first that I advertised for. Shit, I don't even know how long, but it's been a little over 1 year ago that the Will Smith Chris Rock thing happened. And I was originally going to talk about this that day that it happened, or I think the week of it happening. And I know people were just like, ew, when did you give a shit about Chris Rock and Will Smith? I don't really, typically. I don't give a shit about the Oscars, never have. But there's something to what happened that day that resonates a little bit with me. That, you know, kind of sticks at my core. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because I don't think enough people bring that up. And seeing the trajectory of Will Smith ever since that happened over the last year, it might have been the last 2 years. I don't even know how long ago that happened. It might have been 2 years ago. It feels like a lifetime ago now. I think it was last year, though. I'm not going to research it because, fuck it. Obviously, at the heart of the issue is Jada Pinkett Smith and that whole bullshit. And my whole thing is, I hope that this is a cautionary tale going forward, that abuse can happen both ways. I mean that. I think Will is being abused and feels like he has no option or say in the matter, so he's doing these things. That doesn't excuse what he did to Chris at all, but I do think you need to put that into perspective, because look at what the woman has done since they've been together, or at least the recency. She cheated on him, basically cucked him, put him on a podcast that said, hey, I cheated on you. All this shit, right? And, like, I wanted to, like, be like, okay, well, obviously he's just not being a man, and, you know, get your balls out of a person, be a man. But that's not easy when you're deep in the weeds of that situation. And I only say that because, as you all know, I've had my fair share, especially of abusive relationships as well. And they are not pretty. They are not pretty at all. You know, I still, for those who don't even know, and I'm kind of, you know, being vulnerable a little bit here, right? I am leaving myself out in the open when I say this, but I have minor PTSD from my last ex, or a couple exes. Not the last ex that I actually had, because she was a saint. I love her. And not the ex before that. She just ghosted me for similar reasons, actually, believe it or not. But the ex before that one, I still have minor PTSD to this day. It was bad. I went out with that thing, and that's what I'm gonna call that person, because I don't even want to give a gender. For a year and a half. I was lied to, hurt, hit, emotionally berated, and a lot of the times over the most minute shit, not even some of the most serious shit, and manipulated heavily, which is exactly kind of what happened with Will Smith with the look of death from Jada to Will, which caused him to get up from his chair and slap Chris Rock. If anybody knows a thing or two about that, it's me. About abusive relationships. And I don't care about all the other factors, that could be going into this. It doesn't matter what color your skin. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It does not matter. Abuse of any kind of that nature has the same effect, just different results on everybody. That's the truth. And I look at what happened to Will as a very big cautionary tale for a lot of people. I at least hope that they took that and were like, wow, yeah, this is not the type of relationship that I want. And it's really kind of screwed, I think, with his mental psyche as well. I'm not going to get into all the rumors and innuendo about Will, but it always kind of sat with me, because I know there was stuff that, he's done that was questionable, but I always think it all goes back to her, and the way she's kind of manipulated him and warped his mindset and kind of abused him into just submission, and you'd be surprised on how often that happens. And I don't think a lot of people give that enough time of day, because us guys are just being like, hey, we gotta just punch on through, you're macho man, and we gotta just push our feelings down and not talk about him, and, we gotta do that shit, we can't fucking make ourselves vulnerable, he's not good, so it's a very hard thing to do for guys, I think, more so than women. Women are able to get away with that. They will do that, and they have done that. For men, I don't even know. Like, there's a blockage there, and it might be a psychological thing, might be the way society's been shaped. I don't know. Maybe a combination of everything. But you look at, what happened to Will, and it's like, oh shit, this could be me if I'm not careful. That's kind of how I took that, and I think a lot of people are just like, well, it was old news, but to me it's always kind of been fresh in my mind, in that, I think people should kind of take that as a cautionary tale. I definitely have taken that as a cautionary tale. I don't want another relationship like the one that I was in a couple relationships prior. I definitely don't want that. I also recognize that I'm not looking for the perfect relationship, because I'm a believer of what Will Robbins said in is Will Robinson or Will Robbins? See, that's the tism right there. But I go by what he said in the movie Good Will Hunting. It's not about if I'm perfect for them or they're perfect for me. What matters is, are we perfect for each other, that type of thing. So, I always feel like that's kind of the lesson I take from that. It's just like, find the one to just naturally come to you, as opposed to trying to force it, and be desperate about it. Because that's kind of what led me into those situations as well. Don't be desperate. And I think there is a level of desperation on Will's end. I think that because of that history with Jada, that maybe he won't get anybody else, or maybe there's like some other thing. But there's obviously a desperation to keep her, and I don't get why. I really don't get why. I think he ought to be done. And I'm surprised he isn't already. I'm surprised he hasn't divorced her already. Chris Rock has been rightfully calling him out on that shit, as well as every other comedian in the world. Jim Carrey was one of the first to call him out on how much of an embarrassment it was. Like, serious stone-faced Jim Carrey, and I've never seen that in my life. You know it's bad when Jim Carrey is not trying to be funny and he's fucking just eviscerating you on the air in front of millions of people worldwide. Chris Rock, obviously, considering he's the one that got hit. Bill Burr gave him shit. Joe Rogan gave him shit. True Geordie gave him shit. I mean, God, the list of people that have given him a heaping amount of bullshit. Snoop Dogg, Shaq, everybody on that ESPN panel with Shaq, like, everybody's just fucking shat all over him. I do find it funny that the one person who doesn't give him any heaping of fucking bullshit. Or no, I'm sorry, opposite. I find it funny that the one who, like, gave him the most shit was Stephen A. Smith, who, as we all know, his credibility is just of that of the fucking Dave Meltzers of the world. His credibility is down to fucking shitter and has been for a while. And I only say that because, you know, he gives Will such minute shit for it. And then when Dana did what he did, right? Or I'm sorry, opposite way. It should be both of them got shit equally, is what I'm trying to say. But it's actually the opposite of how I'm saying it. Fucking Stephen A. Smith gave such minute shit when it came to Dana White when he slapped his wife that day at the bar. But when Stephen A. Smith slapped Chris Rock, oh my God. Like, big red flag. He deserves to get eviscerated for it. Good job taking that soapbox, buddy. Stand up to the guy who gave you a job at freaking UFC, even though Joe Rogan couldn't stand your ass. But, you know, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. A lot of people gave it a lot of attention, I think for the wrong reasons. I give it attention because I don't want Will, and I don't want anybody to end up being like Will, and I would rather them leave that type of relationship. And I think, you know, I've been watching stuff called True Reddit Stories, which has been on Smosh, the Smosh Pit specifically, the Smosh Pit channel. And I've been binge listening to that for, God, I don't even know how long. Like, that's been very eye-opening. If you've never checked it out, I do encourage you to check it out. But, like, you know, just kind of hearing how certain people act and certain people behave, just seeing that there are a lot of these types of people like Jada Pinkett Smith out there. It's not just her. You know, you are not alone in that regard. And I think a lot of people, you know, should listen to those for educational purposes for their own selves. I never thought I'd recommend that, but you know what? I'm glad I am, because Shane has a PhD in psychology. Shane Top, who hosts the show, and he's just, you know, he's such a master at breaking down the human psychology of somebody. And I do appreciate that, because it kind of gives me a better understanding of, like, what I want to be and what other people are, you know, and what they're going through. And just, you know, very sympathetic in a lot of cases, even to the assholes that are clearly the assholes, you know. And I don't know, maybe there's a lot of stuff that went on Jada Pinkett Smith as well when she was growing up. I'm not saying that she didn't go through shit. And I know she has alopecia. I know that's the root heart of the issue with that. I know that's why she gave Will the death stare to go slap Chris Rock. I get that. Totally understand that. But holy shit. I mean, it's a joke. You know, it's a bad joke, you could say that, sure. But it's a joke nonetheless. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard. I've heard way worse from guys like Bill Burr. I've heard way worse from guys like Troy Bond. Like, it's, I don't know. I've heard From Vincent Millicani. Is that? I think that's how you pronounce his name. I suck at pronouncing his name particularly, but I know it's Vinny. Vincent. Wait, actually, you know what? Let me call my mom. I'm gonna have her on the air for this. Fuck it. I don't care. Because she would know his name, like, right off the bat. And I love the guy. His name has so many syllables, I can't think of it. So give me a second. Call Mom. It's the JHebert Side of Things, folks.
Which mom?
I have a couple mothers on my phone. Call Mom.
Calling Mom.
Thank you. It's moms of people I know. Don't worry about it. I'm not going crazy. Don't get the wrong idea.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm actually filming a podcast, so just that's a FYI real quick. But I had a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the name of the guy? Well, first off, do you give me consent, or do you want me to cut this out of the podcast real quick? Because I just had a question, and it's a funny one, because I completely forget the guy's name.
Are you saying I'm on a podcast right now?
Yes, you are.
Oh.
I'm recording it though, so I can like cut it out if you want. But otherwise, I was just gonna leave it. I was just gonna leave it in because I had a question about what's the comedian that we both like that you showed me, the Italian one.
You know that's a quick Google.
I know it is, but I know I don't remember his. I don't remember his first name, and I don't know if it's Vincent or if it's Sebastian. Yeah, right.
Maniscalco? I can't pronounce that.
Yeah, same. I always have a problem with it. Yeah, because I'm talking about like a thing of like comedians like and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm on right now.
Guess who I'm going to see in October?
Who are you gonna see?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, you're gonna see Jerry.
I am. Aaron bought me tickets as a surprise.
There you go. Well, have a good time. Alrighty. I'm gonna go back to my podcast.
Alright, talk to you later.
Alright, talk to you later. Love you.
Love you too.
Alright, bye. Bye. Mi madre, she just had her birthday not too long ago. I will not reveal ages because that's rude. But yeah. So, Sebastian Maniscalco. Sorry. Completely butchered that name on the first time. But yeah. Long and short of it, I've heard him say way worse. I've heard so many people say way worse. And the fact that, you know, so many people are like quick to jump to the defense of Will is like, what? Are you okay? You know what I mean? Like, it's a joke. I'm not saying like it may not be offensive. Sure, it wasn't great, but to say like, oh, yeah, this is the worst thing that ever happened. Nah, dude. Nah. I've seen worse. I've seen worse happen at the Oscars. Never mind fucking Will. And nobody's ever gotten fucking hit like that. So, whatever. And the fact is, the dude won an Oscar. He had an Oscar. And he embarrassed himself. And it was the worst day of his life. And it should have been the best. Should have been the best. And it became the worst. It became the worst long term. Because now he is still feeling the repercussions of that shit to this day. I don't even know what he's doing now. I'm sure he's kicking himself over it. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's bad. It's really bad what happened. And yeah, I think he's really easily influenced by her. And I think it should be a cautionary tale, a moral of the story. My side of things on this little tidbit is like, yeah, you need to get the hell out. You know what I mean? If you're in any kind of situation like that, they aren't the one for you. They aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about them and only them, and they ain't thinking about anybody else. So I hope that that's kind of the lesson everybody takes from all this. And yeah, it's kind of what I wanted to say. And I thought I'd have more to say. And I think that's the main reason I delayed it for so long, is because it really is only 20 minutes. It's not anything huge. You know what I mean? It's not anything like that's fucking huge or massive, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the thing as well. You know, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, well, I'm going to make this one solo podcast about this whole thing, and it's like, nah, it's not enough for a topic. You know what I mean? It's not enough for a full video, so this is what I do. This is what I do. I don't really know what else to really say on the matter, so. Yeah, I guess we kind of move on, because there is some other stuff I wanted to talk about, because there were some certain things that I just kind of been doing, and I figured, why not fucking talk about it instead of just keeping everybody completely dark on it. And why not? You know, I get to kind of talk about my watch habits and whatnot. So we talked about it briefly on Indy Force, and Smosh is back, and I did kind of want to touch on that a little bit more, because I do think it is a super cool thing of what's happening. For those who don't know, and if you don't, here's the iCard. Check out the Indy Force Podcast where we briefly go over the synopsis. Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox are back, and they bought Smosh from Rhett and Link. From what I understand, after seeing the Rhett and Link I spent a day with from Anthony Padilla, I believe all four of them are together on this, so all four of them own a piece of Smosh, but Ian Hecox and Anthony Padilla are the majority owners, so this is a dream foursome right there. That's pretty damn cool. I will say that it is cool that they're back. What's funny is I watched the first Smosh skit, and that was cool. It was very nostalgic to me, because I did like the Smosh skits from back in the day. I haven't watched a single one since. I've been more interested in Anthony getting involved in the other members of New Smosh. And, you know, I think it's really cool that, you know, Smosh is getting involved, you know, with that stuff, you know what I mean, with the other members of the new cast. And there's some really funny characters, and I don't think enough people give New Smosh enough credit for holding down the fort as long as they did. Yes, they weren't nearly as popular as Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox were together as a duo. But, you know, I remember when Shane Top was a goddamn kid, when I was a kid, on the goddamn Disney Channel, right? on shows like So Random and iCarly and shit. And, like, the fact that, number one, he's on the Goldbergs, right? That's cool, I guess. He's alright in that. I hate TV. TV is all over the goddamn place. But anyway. Like, the fact that he's there on Smosh. He's one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever fucking seen. Anywhere on YouTube. And I wish he would start his own YouTube channel to a degree, but I understand Smosh Pit in and of itself and Smosh Games are kind of like a whole job, so they're probably always coming up with ideas for content for that. Putting their all into Smosh, getting paid very handsomely, I'm sure, by Rhett and Link and now Anthony and Ian. But he's fucking funny. Him and Damian Haas together. Also a guy from So Random who's like super like animated out. Love it. He's really cool. That duo is so good. Like, it feels like they're just, you know, bosom buddies, best of friends. It's great to see. Noah Grossman, I really find him funny. I find him really funny. Just about everybody in the cast, man. I can't even name them all. Keith Leak Jr., he's funny as hell. I love the awkwardness and randomness of Olivia Sway. I love... Who's the new girl? Who's the new girl that, I forget her name. Who's the new girl that's like... I forget her... What's her name? I forget. I'm sorry. Angela. I love Angela. That's her name. Sorry. I was blanking. Jackie. Love Jackie. She's cool. She's just horny all the time, though. Goddamn. Go check out Annie's Try Not to Laugh, or First Try Not to Laugh. You'll see what I mean. I also like... What the hell's... Why am I forgetting Tommy? How do you forget Tommy? You can't forget Tommy. Yeah, and they just have they all have unique ideas that have been brought to the Smosh main channel. And one of the things I kind of wanted to touch on as far as Smosh is kind of a plea in that I know they're going to have the supporters that produce skits with Anthony and Ian in them. I would like to see other members like Courtney Miller, and Shane Top, Damian Haas. Specifically, I'd love to see a skit between Damian, Shane, Ian, and Anthony. I'd love to see that. Please do that. I do believe that they should be included in some of these skits. I'm not saying that Anthony and Ian shouldn't be the stars in them, but I would like to see the new members kind of get their roses for holding down the fort as long as they did, because I actually liked what they were doing. I thought they were very good at improv comedy. I thought they were very, very well done at improv comedy. It was very much reminiscent of like how Adam Blampied would do his top 10 list. I related to that comedy, and if you know that type of comedy, you know it's fucking funny. I do hope that they kind of go that direction, and they do include more members as time goes on. I am worried that they'll kind of exclude them and leave them to Smosh Games and Smosh Pit. And that's not necessarily bad. I feel like they deserve a little bit more. I feel like they deserve some guest starring roles in the Smosh skits. Because then I'd totally be down to click on one. You know what I mean? Like, especially, again, Ian, Anthony, Shane, and Damian in a skit, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. Immediately clicking. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully they kind of go with that regard. Going forward, essentially, and they're not going to just stay in one lane with Ian and Anthony only. I really do hope that they essentially do the right thing and buy their cast that I've held down the fort for so long and give them guest starring roles. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Speaking of YouTube and other stuff, I did want to touch again on Indy Force. Again, if you haven't seen it, right here. Check the archive. Go down. Click the description box. You should see it there. We talked about Lost, the single that came out from Linkin Park. Now, I did so many checks of this. I don't know what the fuck went wrong in translation. I checked everywhere when it came to this. The intention was to play Lost and have it air on the channel. That, of course, didn't happen. Unfortunately, we had to cut it after I uploaded it to video in order for it to premiere on time. So you will not be able to see our raw reaction. Nikos was really into it. He is over in Greece, by the way. Shout out to him. Hopefully he's having a good time. Casey was very much taken aback by it. I can't tell what Mike was doing. Just Mike was off camera, unfortunately, because Wi-Fi. It was great that day. But yeah, shit happens. So yeah, it was good. It was a heavy discussion on that topic. It kind of relates back to what we talked about earlier with abuse and relationships and all that, and mental stability in men, all that shit. So yeah, if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, unfortunately, you will not see our raw reaction to it, and I wish you could, because it was actually pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of rambling when it comes to certain topics that have kind of been on my mind that I just want to kind of get out to the public. Speaking of YouTube stuff, there is some love that I want to kind of give, and the love is to a YouTuber who I've been binge watching yet again, especially as I do my own video projects, just kind of having them on in the background. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about, I am talking about the YouTuber known as McJuggernuggets. For those who don't know, McJuggernuggets was Psycho Kid and had the Psycho series. And they portrayed and for a long time said that these events that were happening were real, even though there was plenty of evidence to the contrary, and stupid old me back then bought it anyway, because they really did a good job explaining why those things could have happened, put it that way. I give those roses because it is hours, and I mean hours of YouTube content, you know what I mean? Like, and I believe this summer, if I'm correct, I think it was in July, whenever VidCon usually is the anniversary of the Psycho series coming to a full end. And I bring that up because that's, you know, that was like 7 years ago. And I still think it's the best story that has ever been told on YouTube. And I don't just say that because I'm a fan of the guy. I say that because I've seen a lot of different storytelling in entertainment. Nothing came close to the realness and the drama of the Psycho series. I kind of go by that. And I don't think people realize, like, how well, you know, anytime I'm doing, like, wrestling content, I go by the McJuggernuggets method of improv. I always just go by what goes in my head. You know what I mean? Like, how would I feel in that situation? Always put myself in those shoes. McJuggernuggets did that so masterfully, dude. Like, Jesse, and I'll just use his real name, Jesse Ridgway. That whole family, really. Jeff Ridgway Sr., Jeff Ridgway Jr., Terry Ridgway, she's awesome. All of them did phenomenally on the series. And, like, I realized, too, there is not a complete Psycho series, even though McJuggernuggets says there is. When you collect Big Brother's videos, which is Jeff Ridgway Jr.'s channel, if you... I'll just call him JT, because that's what they called him. If you collect JT's videos and add them to McJuggernuggets' playlist, and then add a couple videos that I feel like you should have included to really... Since you talked about it in the series to begin with. All of that is... Damn, like 700 plus videos. 700 videos in total of content on this stuff. Like, and for those who don't understand, it's like 700 videos. What the fuck? Yeah, and to put it in perspective, it's like 2 years. 2 years they were doing this, pretty much. It started as every once in a while they drop a Psycho video. And it was originally to kind of shit on Psycho videos. Because they thought, how preposterous. Like, I could do this type of thing. And then people started buying it and believing it. And it's like, it's so obviously fake. How? And then it kept getting traction. And kept getting traction. And then Psycho Dad Shreds Video Games, which, if you guys have not seen, it was on Equals 3. It was on so many different fucking YouTube shows. And everybody perceived it as real. And he said, holy shit, I struck gold. I gotta write a story on this. And he did. And what followed was the greatest mellow reality drama of all time. Honestly, the greatest reality show in the history of entertainment, period. And I mean that. I have not seen a single thing that touches what these guys did. Because they told a story and hooked you in, pro wrestling style, and made you kind of believe in what the hell was happening. They made you feel everything that was going on. You know, like, and I, for the longest time, argued that it was real. Even though Mike, who was the voice of reason, told me, no, this is totally staged. Right? And then when it was over, because I'm like, what the fuck? Right? By the last two videos. For those who don't know, the last two videos were Psycho Kid Kills Father and Psycho Kid Flees Country. A long story on all of those, right? But yeah, he those last two videos, when it was finally over and that reveal that it was fake at the very end of that, I legitimately had a sigh of relief, but also like, wow, what a fucking ride. And I still appreciate that to this day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that I don't think ever gets enough credit. It really never gets enough credit for what it did. Especially with, like, general YouTube and how masterful the storytelling was. Like, how Jesse would remember the little details and hint at things. And the foreshadowing, however subtle it was. But, like, the way he would get to these things is so great. And it's timeless. It's timeless, man. Like, I could go and I'll probably show people, like, if I'm ever, like, a professor somehow of content, if that's ever a thing in this lifetime, that would be, like, the first thing I show. If you're, like, a story-driven content creator and you want to go that alley, McJuggernuggets, Jesse Ridgway is the way to go. Like, you want to go by his family's whole series. You know what I mean? You want to go by that mantra of, like, this is how you do it if you want to kind of improv your way. You know what I mean? You don't want to write a script. This is how you could do it also. You know what I mean? Like, and I personally prefer that. I like when you sound real. You know what I mean? I like it in wrestling when you can add a little bit of realism. Like some of the boxing interviews. You know what I mean? MMA interviews. Because they sound real. They sound genuine. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're going to get those guys that put on an act for the sake of putting on an act to sell tickets. But, you know, I like the realness. I like when people are down to earth and real in a lot of cases. I think that's why so many people gravitated towards people like Nick and Nate Diaz. So, you know, you look at what Jesse Ridgway did with the Psycho series, and it's like very much that. And he always says it's not too far off from reality because it could have gone down that way if if my family didn't kind of believe in what the hell I was doing. And, you know, it is what it is on that, but I'm glad they did, and I'm glad that they believed it, and I'm glad they helped them tell the story because it's one of the greatest stories ever told. On YouTube, period. So yeah. That's pretty much it there. I will probably stop talking your ear off about the Psycho series here. And I wanted to talk about some wrestling. We are going to talk about some wrestling. Because I got a lot to say about some wrestling. There is one person in particular, because I want to kind of bridge from YouTube into boxing. Even though this guy necessarily isn't on YouTube, he did work with YouTubers, and I know he's a bodybuilder and a weightlifter. I do want to see this, and we are going to react to it, and hopefully we don't get don't get copyright claimed here. But let me just pause this and make sure I have my screen set properly before I even do this. All right, all set now. So this is it right here. Mr. Eddie Hall, the Beast as he's known in pro wrestling. He's a bodybuilder turned YouTuber, and he's in wrestling now. And I'm interested in this. I have not watched this yet. This is a genuine reaction. But I always like to see new talent when possible. I remember when Simon Miller went from YouTube to wrestling and became a pro wrestler. I was super interested in that. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I've given DPW a shot. I've given Simon Miller a shot. Let's see what Eddie Hall brings to the table, shall we?
Our final wrestler in the Mega Slam Rumble, featuring Mega Slam, the Beast.
Before we get started with the wrestling, let me take you back to a couple of months ago where it all started. Myself and Jesse James both went over some wrestling training with Mega Slam. Our coach took us through everything from rolls, tumbles, slams, bumps, and most importantly, how to stay safe. Now it was time to put all my training to the test in front of a live audience. And most importantly, my son, who is sat in the crowd, has no clue that I'm about to enter the ring and win the Mega Slam competition. Cannot wait to surprise him. This is going to be awesome.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Now tonight is something completely different. So, I'm in the King's Hall in Stoke-on-Trent, and this is like one of the main venues in Stoke for doing all sorts of events like concerts.
That's so dope, man. Like, that kid's day is made, man. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Wrestling, boxing, all that kind of thing. So, Mega Slam, which is like a federation of wrestling, is invited me to come and do my debut in wrestling tonight. So for the very first time, I'm entering the wrestling ring. So, as you've seen in one of the previous videos, I did some training with Mega Slam with Jesse James West. Training up how to be a wrestler, how to act like a wrestler, how to do all the moves and everything. Tonight's pretty cool. So what I did is I told my son that I was going away for work, and then I told my wife to bring my son to the wrestling. My mum and dad are here as well, so they're having a nice family night out. I'm away at work, and they've come to enjoy the wrestling. So my son's in the crowd, he has no clue whatsoever. I'm going to jump into this wrestling show, throw some moves, and try and win this Royal Rumble.
That's so cool.
I'm looking forward to it, man. This is going to be a good one.
Alright.
There's all cameras everywhere. He doesn't think anything of it, so this is going to be a genuine, really nice surprise for my son. Me jumping in there and doing some wrestling moves. So I just can't wait to watch this video back and see my son's reaction. So I'm going to get warmed up, and I'll see you in a bit. Oh boy.
This is definitely an indie show in the UK. I'm just saying that right now. I want to see that again. I want to see that again without being distracted by audio shit. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. Alrighty. Yeah, buddy. How cool is that? He's getting Eddie chance. That's so cool, man.
You think you're strong? Come on, get out of here.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars? Wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
there's a Mega Slam Rumble tonight, and I'm entering it. Are you ready? Okay.
Crowd is super into him. That's super cool. They're super into him. He's so psyched. That's so dope. Oh, that's cute, man. That's so cute, man. Subscribe to Eddie Hall, the Beast, in the description. I'll definitely put a link to his channel. Not that he needs my fucking help. He's got 2 mil. But if you want to check him out and follow his journey through wrestling, he's got like a bunch of different videos on his channel. From what I saw, the little I did see of it. This is the first video I think I'm checking out of his wrestling journey. So there is that. Whoa! Over the top. There's that guy who was scared to death. Oh my god, Jesus, what the hell? Why is this dude built like Dave Mastiff if he got freaking weight? Why has he got abs? How do you have that? What the hell, Eddie? literally looks like a buff Mack truck. I love the tights, I will say that. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. Is that the old Beast logo from KSI's fucking shop? Or am I just imagining things? Oh, no. Okay. I was confused for a second, no.
Oh, why does it feel like that? My hand! My big strong hands! Different idea!
Holy fuck. Oh, wow. Good kick. Let's see. He's going to go for a superplex. Oh, shit. He's doing the stalling. Oh! There we go. Let's go. That's so cool. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, no! He's getting fucked. No! That kid's having a blast. Nice. Just toss him overboard. That's all he did? Ah, that's bullshit. I wanted to see what he could do, man. Maybe he's not like totally ready yet. So they just wanted to do that as like a surprise. They thought he was ready enough to just do a battle royal, which is fair enough. He's chanting Eddie. He's not even chanting for Dad. He's chanting with the crowd.
Right, that is a wrap with me pal here, the real strong man. Good doing business with you, man.
Thank you, man.
That was good fun.
Yeah.
It's good fun. And I tell you what, it's nice seeing the setup. All these guys, they all come together. They set the ring up together. They set the seats. They do everything. They do, the organisers doing all the DJing and the events and introing everyone out. It's they're all just here now, just chilling in the thongs. But no, man.
I think I've seen him before. I've seen that guy on Independence.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Did you have any idea that I was coming on?
No.
You didn't. You enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, mate. I had fun, and I'm glad you had fun. That's the most important thing. Right, guys. That was my debut in wrestling. Good bit of fun.
That's so cool, man, that he got to give his son that moment.
It was a nice experience.
That's so cool. That's so dope, man.
My son's face above anything else.
Good for Eddie, man. Good. Shout out to Eddie Hall. Subscribe to him.
And also go and check out.
Hit that post notification bell too. Don't forget that.
Beast Jr. And I'll see you next time. Big love the Beast. Take care.
Super dope. Big strong boy. You'll love to see it. Big strong boys. What the? What is that intro?
Just
what the fuck is that outro? All right. Yeah. All right. Whatever that was. I don't even know. Oh my gosh. That was wholesome. That was wholesome fun. I enjoyed that. It's super cool when, you know, wrestlers that are debuting for the first time are able to kind of give their, you know, their stamp of approval. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. You know, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. Memes aplenty. But yeah. So yeah, I enjoy that. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a nice little transition from you know, little blending of my worlds there. YouTuber wrestling right there. I think that's super dope. Glad to see Eddie Hall doing the pro wrestling thing. He's taking the road of Lex Luger from his days in the WBF. Oh man, could you have imagined Eddie Hall versus Lex Luger? Goddamn. They'll have a lap spread contest first, and then the fucking hip and body slam competition second. Third and final fall. It's just a standard wrestling match. They'll do the first two. Great, no problem. They might be really fun. Oh, man. Especially with how green that Eddie is right now. But, you know. Hey, he's a greenhorn, right? Before we continue, I'm just going to take a quick pause, real quick, because I want to do something real quick. Okay, so what we're going to do before we get to the next topic, because the rest are completely wrestling, fully wrestling. We're not going to talk about any more YouTube and stuff. I think I covered just about everything I wanted to cover on YouTube, with the exception of my stuff. So before we get into the wrestling stuff, I do want to kind of talk about a couple things that are coming up on the channel, and all across FTW as well, because there's obviously some announcements that I kind of want to make here for those who aren't really in the know. I kind of want to fill you in on what's going on with FTW and everything going on. So before that, I'm going to run this trailer real quick while I get everything set up. So here is what you can expect that is on demand or coming up in some cases for FTW Productions. Here's the new updated trailer.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Owen the Talkinator Studios series premiere of Owen and AJ Talks. Welcome to the FTW family, Zero Miller. Shared experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. All Retro Wrestling Review Series videos on demand and upcoming. The Wrestling Rundown and ATW View crossover available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video, If Goldberg Stayed in WWE in 2004. Pride CAW Supercard by Zero Entertainment, available now on demand. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Simple Bracketology season premiere covering the G1 Climax 33, AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indy Force episode 27, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. AEW Double or Nothing Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting, episode 3 coming soon. La Strada 1954 watch-along, available on demand. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 8, Fast Food and Restaurants Discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
And that is what you can all see coming up on FTW Productions side of things. So go check that out when you get a chance. There's a lot of great content, not only for that, but also on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, which I have now plugged their entire playlist. But on this channel and on all the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media affiliates, including Noah Foster, JJ Williams, and Jeff Meacham, of course, you will be seeing me and JJ Williams calling SummerSlam. Yes, I am calling a WWE event yet again. Due to the reason, obviously, that Noah Foster is actually going to be live in Detroit for the event. So he will not be there to call the action with us. So that is why I am stepping in. I am filling in the color commentator role. JJ is going to be filling in as the play-by-play guy telling the story. So it's going to be a weird dynamic, but if anything, I think we'll be all right because we did a very good job last time calling the action. I think it's going to be a good time. And JJ made my job easy last I remember, so should be a good time. But yeah, that's what's coming up as far as Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media coming up. We got a bunch of watch-alongs going up already. If you haven't already checked it out on this channel, there's a ton right now. Go check out all the content from the Jeff Meacham Network side of things. And as far as FTW side of things, expect to see a lot more content. JHebert D18 is not going to be coming back, although that will be tentatively scheduled to come back in 2024. The goal is to just go crazy with D-Medits for the next few weeks. I kind of already have a few lined up because I've been doing some D-Medits for WYW. I realized I could actually work for some other wrestlers. So I'm going to just kind of put that out in the ether and stuff like that. So yeah. But other than that, I kind of wanted to talk about this. And this is a show that's going to be happening relatively soon. And it is going to be a joint production. And that is a new series called... That was originally going to be on Owen's channel, but we all talked and we figured, you know what, let's make it a joint production with Zero and I instead. Because we both had a similar idea. It's going to be called Character Select. Now, for those who are familiar with the Button Master Stable Wars series, you should be if you haven't already. Essentially, we take characters, we let the AI duke it out and see which one kind of comes out on top in points. In this instance, it's similar to that, but it's going to be in tournament form. So we're just going to pit the AI against each other and see who comes out on top. Now, that's essentially what's going on. We're going to be doing... We already have the first two series lined up for this. Alright? It is going to be my pick first, Zero's pick next. His is going to be Mugen. So he's going to be doing a Mugen-style tournament on his end when it comes to that. And then I'm going to be doing this. And y'all know me, if you know me for any length of time, what the first tournament's going to be. Super Smash Bros. Remix, Project MEX Remix. Yes, that is the tournament. Now, real quick, I'm going to just make sure you all can see this right now. So that way you can see the full screen. Alright? These are the brackets when it comes down to everything going on in the tournament. Alright? So just to kind of lay out everything, this is what you can expect to see as far as this series goes. It's a tag team tournament, so it's going to be 2v2 each round, and it's going to be best of 5 each round. I was originally going to do best of 3 to kind of save on time. However, the only issue is I might be picking certain stages that I really want to show off, and certain characters have certain weaknesses or AI bugs in certain stages that I kind of have to work around. And instead of doing so much work of trying to make it best of 3 work, I just decided to make it a best of 5 because that just saves me a bunch of fucking time. So It's going to be best of 5. Finals will always take place at either Final Destination, the Remix stage, or Battlefield, one of the 3. And there's variations of all those stages, so we'll be able to go through all of them. But yeah, this is essentially what's going to be coming up. I'll go over the brackets real quickly here, and I'll actually show myself on screen so you're not just staring at that the whole time. So, here we go. We got the Super Mario Brothers of Mario and Luigi, that's obvious, versus the Wacky Wario Brothers, Wario and Waluigi, so that's obvious there. We got the Belmont Brothers taking on Final Fantasy. We got A Link to the Past, and I believe that's going to be Young Link and regular Link. So, you know, the 2 Links that are in the game. Taking on Castlevania Fantasy, which is going to be Alucard from Castlevania and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. Quest for Gold versus Xeno Keyblade. That is, Quest for Gold is Hero from Dragon's Quest and Isaac from Golden Sun, hence Quest for Gold. Ha ha ha. Shout out Wade Needham. Taking on Xeno Keyblade, which is Zora and Shulk. Guardians of the Sky is going to be Zelda and Palutena taking on Royal Princess Brawl, instead of Ball, for Princess Peach and Princess Daisy. So a little bit of female-on-female action there. Not that type. Get out of the gutter. You also get Guardians of Aegis, which is Aegis, which I believe, I always butcher that name, so my apologies to every, it's the one bot I swear I'm going to make, I hope, anyway. It's from Xenoblade. I'm sorry if I absolutely butchered that. It is, Pyra and Mithra taking on, Lucina and Lyn. From Fire Emblem. So that, the Womanly Warriors versus the Guardians of whatever the fuck that says, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it again. Medieval Futurism. Zero Suit Samus and Sheikah Baby. Not that Sheikah Baby. Sheik from Zelda. Which is just Zelda, but alter ego. Taking on, Sisters of Sin, which, I know is Bayo and, hang on, Elizabeth. That's her name. Elizabeth. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, so my apologies. But yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, cool. Alright, so I got that. So Elizabeth, I don't remember the game, and Bayonetta. That's the Sisters of Sin. We Fit, which is just We Fit Guy and We Fit Girl. And the Corrin family, Corrin Boy and Corrin Girl from Fire Emblem. So yeah, Battle of Clone Fighters, yes, because they actually included those and actually had voices for them. So I count them as separate characters, even if they're Echo Fighters. There you go. That's how I'm going about this to make it fucking 128 characters even. Then you got F-Zero of Captain Falcon and Blood Falcon taking on the racing villains of Black Shadow and Deathborn. F-Zero fight there. We got Sonic Heroes, which is Sonic and Shadow, versus the Flyboys, Tails and Knuckles. Sonic action there. You got Thunderstruck, which is Pikachu and Pichu, taking on, sounds like a fucking sneeze now that I do it. Yeah. Taking on Eco-Friendly, which is Squirtle and Ivysaur. A little Pokemon action there. You got Fire Emblem, which is Roy and Marth versus the Heavy Hitters, and this is where I botched the last take, but now I know it is Ike and Chrom. So it's Ike and Chrom, I believe, okay? I'm going to stick to that for now. I don't know if I'm 100% right. I'm 90% sure that's the team. Gods Unchained, which is Robin, specifically. I think it's Robin, because she has that weird-ass sword that, you know, has squiggly line sword. From Fire Emblem, and the Fierce Deity from Majora's Mask. They will be taking on Dark Forces of Kazuya and Ganondorf. The Koopa Crocs! Them boys, Koopa King rule, Or, no, I'm sorry, King K. Rool and Koopa King Bowser, taking on the Dino Dragons, which is Charizard and Yoshi. Wolf Dogs, which is Elizabeth and Wolf from Star Fox. And yes, Elizabeth from Animal Crossing, because why not? I don't know. Taking on Star Fox, Fox and Falco, obviously. Foxhound of Big Boss and Solid Snake, taking on Metroid Prime Hunters, which is Samus, regular, and Dark Samus. Yes, I am teaming up the mortal enemies together because... why not? Shut up. DK Country, which is Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, take on Adventure Mode. Here's an interesting team up for you. Ice Climbers and Banjo-Kazooie. So it's basically 2-on-4, but for some reason they count the 2 characters that have 4 as 1 character. I don't know how it works. It's Smash. Who cares? That's the matchup. Nintendo Classics of Rob and Mr. Game & Watch taking on Forgotten Sons of Sega, which consists of Vector Man and Silver. So that's the team up there. Dreamland of Kirby and Meta Knight take on Calvary D of Bandana D and King DDD. Earthbound taking on Village Psychic. Earthbound represented by Ness and Lucas, obviously. And Village Psychic, also an Earthbound team, represented by Masked Man and Ninten. So that's the team up there. MK Medical, which is Dr. Mario and Dr. Luigi. They got their PhD and they could compete twice? What the fuck? This is rigged. Taking on the Street Fighters of Ryu and Ken. You got Pokemon Legendary, which is Lucario and Mewtwo, taking on the fighting types, Blaziken and Zeraora. You got Fire and Ice versus Persona. Fire and Ice represented by Terry Bogard from King of Fighters and Sub-Zero of Mortal Kombat, taking on you and Joker from Persona. You got the Rogue Swordsman, which is Squall and Navarre, I believe his name is pronounced, from Fire Emblem, taking on Boxing Club Academy, which is Knuckle Joe and Little Mac. So there you go there. For those who don't know, and I'll just go quick history lesson, then we'll move on. Knuckle Joe's from Kirby. So there you go. He was an assist trophy in Brawl. Now he's a character in this. You can check for the next match. It's Archangel Incorporated. I know. I'm so full of myself. But no, it's actually it's Pit and Dark Pit taking on Kings of the Black Throne. No, not the one from AEW. In this instance, it's Black Knight and what's his god name? Hold on. Let me just check his name real quick because I actually have the mod up. You might hear music, so apologies for that. I just don't want to fuck his name up. Skullface, I believe. Yeah, Metalface, sorry. So Metalface, that is. Wow. Mike's calling in the middle of this because I called him earlier in the first take of this. Fuck it.
What's up? You called?
Yeah, I called you because I was recording for JHebert Side of Things, and I had a question because I was running down an idea, the tournament for character select. I was gonna ask you what the name of the character that you picked for the Stable Wars from Final Fantasy for your the Streetborn Warriors. I think it was Squall, right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's all I had.
Just texted me that, you know that, right?
Yeah, but I figured it'd be funny to call you. Do you want to say hi to the people?
No.
Oh.
They don't matter.
They don't matter? Well, there he goes. Anyway, yeah, just, extra clarification, even though I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Why not? But yeah, Kings of the Black Throne, in this case, are Skullface and Black Knight. So yeah, Archangel, Dark Pit and Pit, and Kings of the Black Throne, Skullface, and Black Knight. We have Mega Man X, which is Zero and Mega Man X, obviously, taking on Metroid X. This team up is Charizard X and Ridley. This is an interesting one. Trust me. That's an interesting fight. We have the Undertale RPG, which is the team of Sans from Undertale and Mr. Gino from Super Mario RPG. Believe it or not, this actually might be a fucking favorite to win this whole thing. You will see why in this tournament. I've seen them in tournament before I ever did a tournament. That was one of the first team ups I thought of. And oh boy, was I correct. And they take on the Pac Bombers, which consist of Bomberman and Pac-Man. So there you go there. And then you have... what the... Soft and So Squishies. Soft and So Squishies being Sandbag and Jigglypuff. Taking on Toon World, which is Toon Link and Toon Zelda. You have Joy Mechman. This is the very odd pairing here of Sukapon from Joy Mech Fight, and I forget the guy for I think it's Alf from Pikmin, taking on Pikmin of the other two, Louie and Olimar. Yes, that's it. Yeah, I believe that's correct. So yeah, it's the weakest fight. I mean, come on. Then you got Battletoads versus Treasure Tractors, which is just the Battle of Toad people from the Mushroom Kingdom. Civil War in the Mushroom Kingdom, I guess. We got Toadsworth and Captain Toad and the Treasure Tractors, and we got Toad and Toadette and Battletoads. And yes, I took the name Battletoads from Battletoads, the fucking beat 'em up. Yeah. Then we got Phantom Method. Here's a good fight. We got Phantom Method versus Mechanical Religion. Phantom Method being Dry Bowser and Phantom Ganon, taking on Mechanical Religion of Metal Sonic and V number 13 from BlazBlue. And finally, I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a weak fight, but we got Alloy Fighter Team 1 and Alloy Fighter Team 2 to round out the entire bracket. They actually made Alloy Fighters essentially playable characters in this game. So I figured, why not just have them fight? Let's see who the better Alloy team wins. So that's what we got going on. That is the bracket. That is the first round of the tournament. Then it's going to go into round 2. Then it's going to go into the quarterfinal. Or no, round 3. Then it goes into the quarterfinals. Then it goes into the semifinals. And then it goes into the finals. And the winner is the best S-tier tag team in Super Smash Bros. Remix. For those who don't know what this mod is, go ahead and download it in the description down below if you want to check it out for yourself. I like the mod. I think it's fucking awesome. But yeah, it's essentially a brawl mod. And we're just going to be watching these fights and seeing what the hell happens. Me and Zero get to kind of call the action, fuck around, enjoy the shit. And it will be on my channel and the Zero Entertainment channel. So yeah, go check that out when you can. Next thing I want to talk about before we get into more wrestling talk is stuff coming up on YouTube. Or not necessarily coming up on YouTube, but a little change into the YouTube setup. I already mentioned that Character Select is now going to be a me and Zero thing on both of our channels, so we can both have like full creative freedom of what we want to do there. So this means that Owen the Talkinator will only have 3 shows on that channel, but his other channel kind of makes up with it by having 5 shows on that channel anyway. So we're pretty much in the clear there. But yeah, for those who don't know, Owen was kind enough to give me his CM Brothers account as a new main hub for FTW Productions. Now, real quick, let me just pause. All right, here we go. So yeah, this is essentially that. For those who don't know, everything that you would normally see on that is now on here. In fact, I just realized I actually probably should have used display capture, but a bit late on that now. Actually, is it? No, it's not. All right, perfect. All right, so this is essentially what you could see on here. Everybody that's on FTW Productions and does content for FTW Productions is now in one place on this account, on FTW Productions Main. So you want to go to youtube.com/@FTW Productions Main if you want to check out all the content coming up there. And finally, yes, I promoted it on 5 different channels, I think. But Weymouth Youth Wrestling has a big update. If you haven't seen it, Indy Force 27 yet again. Here's the iCard right here. Big announcement there as far as content is concerned. Now, with all that gaga out of the way, I'm going to get a negative topic of wrestling out of the way first. And this may be brought up for discussion on Open Mic Night at some point, but at the same time, I think I want to get my own thoughts on that anyway, just to kind of get them out there. So that's essentially what I'm going to be doing here. Ronda Rousey. For those who don't know, Ronda Rousey's on her way out of the company. And, yeah, it's a grand old time, isn't it? When it comes to her second run in the WWE. And look, I haven't paid attention to nearly as much as everybody else has, but I know what everybody else has been saying. And I know what I've seen with my own 2 eyes. And, you know, I'm going to get a clip real quick. And once I do that, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, this is the clip in question. For those who don't know, check out Noah Foster. Right here. iCard. Why not? Go check him out. Tell him JHebert sent you. Noah brought up a really good point because I've always kind of been on Ronda's side for the longest time. But he said something to me that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. And I think this needs to be talked about. Because I think, you know, so many people on both sides don't put the blame on everybody here. And I'm not saying you always put the blame on everybody just for the sake of putting blame. But he said something that kind of really opened my eyes. And I just kind of want to play that real quick.
All right. And you're good, King Mike. Appreciate your support. And James here says, I feel bad for Ronda for what Vince did creatively. He had a gold mine, squandered it, and then made her not care her second run. I don't know. It's just a shame. Well, it's a fair take, but I'm also going to just put out what good mic work, part of my script, your name, my friend, talked about as well. You can't put, it's a McMahon, damn it, always at the front of blame towards something that doesn't go right in WWE in your own perspective way. Why he is the end honcho, end all be all, the official. It's not just him at the end of the day. There is a system. And at the end of the day, sometimes that system can make even the strongest of people go sour and not care anymore. They'll just go with the motion. So again, I don't work for the company. It is what it is. If this is Ronda Rousey's last hurrah to try and help her friend, very wise, or the gym to try and hurt her friend, shoot wise, we'll find out soon enough. Either way.
So yeah, that's essentially what Noah said. Go check out the Horseman Hype, by the way. Horseman Hype for SummerSlam. Again, I will be on the call on the Jeff Meacham Network, and I will be on Simply Predicting by the time you see this. I'm hoping to get it all done and edited so it could be released on time before Simply Predicting tomorrow. And in fact, let me go on Noah's channel real quick just so I can give you an exact day and time. That will be at 8 o'clock p.m. during SmackDown tomorrow. So on August 4th. But for me, it's August 3rd right now. But yeah, that's essentially when you'll see me on Simply Predicting. You'll see me the following day calling the action. So yeah, I'm going to be a busy boy. I'm busy bee all day. So yeah, go check that out. Now, Noah had a lot of legitimate points there that I wanted to touch on that I didn't even realize were legitimate points. Because you know what? Ronda needs to wake the fuck up with herself. And it pains me to say that as a Ronda fan. It really does. Because I've been a mark for her for a while, but I have not at all been a fan of her second run. Not even close. Not even close. Her first one was very good. It should have been great, but it was very good. I still maintain that Vince absolutely squandered that. I don't dispute that. I don't go back on that, and I don't take back what I said. I think Vince absolutely squandered her first run. And fucked that entire deal up. It's so bad. It was so awful. No doubt in my mind how bad that was. So, like, it should have been better, too, because there were some bright spots in that entire run. She had a watchable match with Nia Jax that year. She had a really awesome match with Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Moné, during that run. She had a really, really good match with Charlotte, even though she was booed out of the building, which kind of kickstarted her not giving a shit. She had an awesome match in her debut. You know, there's bright spots in there. I think the booking was all over the place with her. And I think they kind of knew that it was going to be because they only had her for a year. And it's not that I hated everything about the run. I just didn't like the creative at all. I thought the creative was lackluster at that point, and it's like they didn't give a shit and they had so much talent at their disposal. So I stand by that. I do. But, my God, I don't know if it's just the way Vince has trained his athletes to fucking think this way or what, but the idea that she's going on and blaming fans, you know, for her reaction that night still at Survivor Series 2018, excuse me, all the way up until her final bit of that run. You gotta blame creative. Seriously. You have to blame creative. The fact that you don't go and blame creative in this and don't try to change anything at all during that run is baffling to me, that you are taking your anger out on us fans. You know, and I say us fans because I wasn't one of those people that ever attacked you. And I thought that they were wrong for booing you. I thought they were wrong for booing Roman Reigns for as long as they did. Because they should have been booing the guy who was booking him to be like that in the first place, Vince McMahon. You know, like Johnny Ace, whoever the fuck you want to boo. You know, put it this way, right? The only time I've ever seen proper disdain go to the producers ever in the history of pro wrestling is when Sting and Abyss had a fucking goddamn last rites match, and they had that stupid ass casket match. It was basically just a glorified casket match that rose up, and the crowd chanted "Fire Russo." It also happened during the electrified steel cage match. How could we forget? Bound for Glory 07. And they were chanting it there too. You know what I mean? They were begging for Russo at that point to be fired. That's the only time I've ever seen a crowd ever have any disdain for anything wrestling booking. Because you don't see the booking. You don't. You know, and the majority of the fans aren't going to care, especially when they tune into a WWE event. They're going to just see what's on their fucking screen, and then they're going to cheer for whoever regardless. And boo whoever regardless. So, if you had such a problem with how you were booked and how you were portrayed on television, why the fuck don't you go to creative and complain to them and try to get it changed? Like, she gave up. She did give up. Noah's right. She gave no fucks anymore. She gave up right away. She just didn't care anymore. And you know what? You're a bitch, Rhonda. I'm sorry. You need to hear it. You are a bitch for that. And I'm not saying, like, you know, that in a derogatory term of, like, to insult a woman. for the record. I say that gender exclusive for anybody. Like, you are being so petty and so dumb with this. Like, put it this way. You are a bitch in that you are a coward. Right? You're being a coward. Dude, here's a perfect example of somebody that had so much creative frustration with WWE, but never gave up. Never gave up until just nothing mattered anymore to them. And the minute she felt, I can't do this anymore, she did walk off the job. But I'll get to that in a minute. Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks. Right? Sasha, how long did you stay in that fucking shithole of creative before Hunter took over? How long did she stay trying to change that system? You know what I mean? Like, she fucking busted her ass politically and in that fucking ring and promo-wise every fucking night to make that division mean something, even when the fucking guys at the top and the brass who was in charge didn't give a shit. Ronda, despite everything that Sasha went through, Sasha was the first African-American woman, along with Bianca Belair, to ever main event a WrestleMania. She fucking went on to, make history with Ronda Rousey in a fucking classic match. She fought Bayley and Charlotte. Charlotte being the first ever women's Hell in a Cell. She had the first Iron Woman match with Bayley. She had multiple tag team title reigns and tried to make that division fucking mean anything. God, she busted her ass. Busted her ass. And the people at top didn't care. And she said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And her and Naomi walked. And they're both better off for it because they're both doing way better things now outside of the E. But you know how long that took? Seriously, Rhonda, you know how long that took for Sasha to fucking do that? She got called up in what? 2014. She left in 2022. Last year at WrestleMania, or after WrestleMania, pretty soon after. Dude, that's damn near 8 years. 8 fucking years! It took her to finally say, fuck it, I'm done. Punk was in the WWE system from 2006 all the way up until 2014. That's another 8 years. He gave that fucking company, or 7 years, a little bit. Maybe a little more, a little less, give or take. It took him that long to say, fuck it, I'm done. You deal with that bullshit for 1 year, and you blame the fans and say, fuck it, I don't care anymore? To the point where you came in and just fucking half-assed everything. You do the bare minimum, you do what you're told, and say, I don't care about anything else, I just want to do the tag team with Shayna Baszler. And you do that for what? All of like a week? And because it's not what they had you do right away, you half-assed everything else? That didn't do anything for fucking Bianca Belair when you fought her at Mania last year. That didn't do anything for fucking Becky Lynch. That didn't do anything for Charlotte. As if Charlotte needs anything else, to be honest. But, like, you didn't give a shit. You clearly didn't give a shit. It was obvious in your face when you won the Royal Rumble that year in 2022. You didn't give a shit. I hate to say that. But it's true. You are a coward. You don't know how to fight for yourself. You may know how to fucking kick ass in the ring and in the octagon. Nobody will take that away from you. But you don't know how to fucking stand up to the goddamn writers. Why? I have no idea. No fucking idea. And instead, you go for the jugular of the fans for booing stuff that involves you in it that creative wrote for you. How do you not see that night in Survivor Series 2019 or 2018, which this all of this stems back to that day. All of that bitterness that you feel towards the fans is all should be directed towards creative. Why are you blaming us? Why are you blaming us? That makes zero sense, hon. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but it's like, Noah's so right. He really is, and he said it way more eloquently and nicely than I'm putting it, but like, it really does come down to, it's not all Vince, hon. It's not. It's not all Vince. You had an opportunity to really make something of the second run, and you did fuck all. You did fuck all. What the fuck? At least pretend to give a shit for the fucking woman you're fighting across the ring from you. At least make them look like $1 million. And for those who want to fucking tell me, well, she can't, she's not capable of that, she can't work. Bullshit. Bullshit. You look at her fucking debut match and tell me she can't work. You look at her fucking match with Charlotte Flair. You look at her match with Sasha Banks. You look at her matches with Asuka. You look at her matches with any of those fucking women and tell me she can't work. Seriously. She'd go with the best of them if she actually tried. She didn't try here. I saw her first run. I saw a lot of her first run. It was really, really good. There's a whole video right now, if you don't believe me, on Marky D123's YouTube channel, chronicling the entirety of her run in WWE. It's all right there. It's all in color. It's not even in black and white. It's all in color. It's right there for you to enjoy on that channel. You could see the progression. You could see her getting better. There were certain things she lacked in, but she kept improving that entire year. And she was so good in every match. She improved on everything she was doing. She had classics with Sasha Banks. She had classics with Charlotte Flair. She had classics with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, even if the fucking crowd was dead for it. Minus the fucking botch with the pen. Which is all what anybody remembers. It was a very good run. It could have been better if creative didn't fuck it up by Survivor Series time. But it was a very good run. Instead, this bitch focuses on the fucking negative. I say bitch. Coward. Is what I mean by that. Not like... I don't know. It's probably a bad thing I'm saying that. So my apologies for that. But like, dude... Fuck. You're just thinking of the negative. And I don't get it. It was a very good run. It was a very awesome run. You know what I mean? And then... It could have been better, but, like, you didn't fight the right people. You fought the fans like the fans were to blame. The same fans at PWG who took you in when you started getting into pro wrestling, when you were in that crowd. The same fandom that actually knew, at least the hardcores knew, who the hell was to blame. You denounced everybody during the time you were off, and then you come back, and then you give almost minimal to zero effort until the tag team run. And even then, you were injured for like fucking halfway through. Because you were supposed to win in at Mania, and that didn't happen. And even then, you still wanted to do the tag team run for a month, and then lose it at Money in the Bank for Shayna to turn on you, so thanks for wasting our fucking time. And making the tag team division meaningless. Because you didn't want to play ball and stay longer, because at that point you were done. So even then, like, you don't even give a shit about your own best friend. You just wanted out. You just wanted to fulfill your deal and be out as quickly as fucking possible. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping this MMA fight... You know what? Like, I hope Ronda wins, just so that way she doesn't fuck over her friend too. But I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I think she's so clouded in her fucking hatred and judgment that she doesn't realize what it's done to her reputation. You know, Undertaker said it best. Perceptions are perceptions are reality, and the reality in this case is you's being a bitch. And as I said in this case, being a coward. Seriously. Like, stand up for yourself when it comes to creative. Don't fucking take your anger out on everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, that makes zero sense to me. At all. 0 sense. So, that's kind of my takeaways on the Ronda thing. I wanted to talk about that before we got into the final topic, which is a lot more positive wrestling-wise. But I did want to kind of bring that up, because I think people should be, privy to what's going on that front. I don't really watch WWE on a weekly basis, never going to again, until Vince is definitely not going to be in power, which may never come, and even then, that's going to be a stretch. I got way too much shit going on to even worry. But that I did want to talk about, and I wanted to talk about it in my way here, because I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out on there, because I think it is something to kind of talk about. And I don't want to bring this dialogue, because it's not a hate. I don't hate Ronda. I don't. I really don't. And it may sound like I do, but I don't. I hate this perception she put on herself that everybody in the fandom is to blame for why her first run failed, and she still has resentment to this day about it. When her resentment should go to the people who were in charge at that time that booked it as such. And she has carried that bitterness over into her second run and not even giving a flying fuck about what she's doing in that ring. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could really say on that, man. Like, I really tried. I really wanted to get behind her. I really, really liked what she was doing in her first run, and I kind of... My fandom was like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, I want to cheer for her. Because she's always been a favorite of mine, even during the UFC days, but, like... Yeah, man. You need to get better at handling stuff like that. You really do. And this ain't the way to go about it. I'm sorry to say, but... somebody has to say it, and I'm sure she's been told this multiple times. I'm sure it fell on deaf ears. And again, my point stands. If Phil Brooks and Mercedes Moné could stay in that fucking company for like 8 goddamn years, and then get sick of it, there's no reason why you should have fucking been done after 1 year and then quit, have a child, and then come back and then not give a shit the second time around. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's zero excuse for that shit. I'm sorry. You really let the audience down with that mentality, and there's no way you can hide that anymore. You can't. And that's coming from a big Ronda mark, man. And it really ashames me to say that, but like, I don't hate Ronda. I hope that eventually she just kind of is done and moves on with her life. And, at the end of the day, it don't matter to me too much, you know what I mean? I hope the best for her. But on this show, I'll call people out on their bullshit. Don't expect me not to call you out on your bullshit. That's it. Final topic I wanted to talk about is AEW related. I gotta say, man, this better than you, baby thing, that's really got me interested in pro wrestling again, and specifically with AEW, because everybody knows that I have been off the AEW bandwagon for a while because of everything that's gone down. Sorry, I had to shut down something. I love what they've done with this. To the point where next week I'm actually going to watch the weekly shit. At the very least, Dynamite and Collision. I'm actually curious on what they do now. Because I'm very, very intrigued with how they're doing all this shit. So yeah, like, I'm interested in what AEW's got to bring. Like, they hooked me with this Better Than You, Baby story. And I don't know who is responsible, writing-wise, but this is the most riveting fucking story AEW has done since they've been in AEW. And I genuinely mean that. And for those who haven't even seen my reaction of it, we did the Dynamite 200 episode call, Noah and I. Go check that out, Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse Media. It's on my channel as well as the others. That was one of the most riveting segments on television wrestling-wise I've seen in a very long time, was MJF effectively turning babyface. That was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen, because I didn't think it could be done. I didn't think it could be done. Now I think it can. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I think MJF should go full babyface. I really do. I think Max, it's time for him to go full babyface. I have never been more interested in a world championship run like I have been with MJF. Seriously. His matches have been stellar. His character development has been sublime. All the way to the chase of the title. But the title itself, the championship defenses he's had, has had me interested all the way through. His championship matches from Ricky Starks to the title eliminator with Konosuke Takeshita, from the Iron Man match with Danielson to the 4-way with the Pillars, all that shit, right? Like, all of it's been great. But this is very, very interesting, how they went from Adam Cole and MJF being hated rivals to Adam Cole seeing the human side of Max and trying to give him a chance for once in his life. And that changed Max. Now, he could be acting. And it will break my heart. And I will not be mad if they do that, because I'm almost half expecting he'll do it. Okay? That is a route they could go. But this could be historic the way they're doing this. Because they actually have something organic here. And I really do mean that. Organic as hell. Like, Max was so great as a heel. And he even said, though, in his promo, getting you guys to hate me is easy. Getting people to boo me is easy. But getting you all to love me, that is something I want to try now. You know what I mean? And that's like, the way they've constructed this. Like, but like, he's still MJF. He even said he's still a scumbag, right? Don't get me wrong. I still have tendencies where I can be a dick and I can be cocky and arrogant and all this shit. I ain't gonna change overnight. I love that he said that and the human element of that. But like, him bringing up his real life story again and talking about RSD, which is a part of OCD, or at least linked with OCD. Which, by the way, he butchered the name of that. It's actually relationship. What was it fucking called? Hold on, I can actually look it up on Google real quick, because I did look this up. I was curious about it. Rejection sensitive dysmorphia. Dysmorphia. So it's not disorder. Dysmorphia. He got that last bit wrong, but it is a disease. I had no idea. I seriously thought he was making that up. I thought he was like, all right, he's clearly going heel. No, he's being real. That's a thing. That was so good. Fuck. Anybody that hasn't seen this, you have to go see this on YouTube. Go check out the clips. The bromance of the summer is legitimately, with him and Adam Cole, was the best thing I've ever seen on AEW television. And I watched that entire lead up to the FTR match. I saw that whole thing. The 1 hour presentation they showed on YouTube. Which, by the way, whoever's doing that, keep doing that. That's great to get people in the know. That's a really good way. And then I watched that match on Collision, and I saw MJF had the opportunity to stab him in the back and hit him with the title. And fucking Adam Cole holding his arms out. And Max said, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's fucking awesome. Like, it's so good. Like, this could be the best feel-good story in I don't even know how long in pro wrestling that's actually been written and told. So, seriously, man, whoever's responsible, I don't care if it's Phil Brooks, Will Washington, Tony, whoever has a hand in this, seriously, like, Mazel Tov, you got me hooked. I'm going to be watching it at least this week. Both Dynamite and Collision. They hooked me again. They hooked me with this story. It's really good, guys. I'm telling you, it's really good. And yeah, I'm actually more interested in this than my story idea that I pitched. I could give a fuck about the Elite and Punk's bullshit at this point. But speaking of that, you know, the thing with the Elite now being done and just signing. Here's another fucking crazy ass thing. So the Elite are back at AEW. They just signed 5 years on the dotted line. Meanwhile, CM Punk is shitting on them constantly on Collision. He just brought back the World Championship that he never lost, spray painted an X over the E. He's doing his thing, and it's awesome, by the way. Him and Ricky Starks are going to kill it on Collision. That got me hooked as well. So that has me really intrigued. And I have actually seen the entire episode of Collision from last week. Man, I love the presentation. Love the feel. Love it. I love the first episode, but there's something catching on with the show. I really enjoyed the Saturday Collision show. I'm going to be watching Dynamite also. But yeah, like, this is awesome what they're doing here. And I can't understate that enough. There's a lot of good things going on. That ladder match with Andrade El Idolo and Buddy Matthews was fucking brutal. Love that match. Minoru Suzuki, Darby killed it. The Trios tag was awesome. That was a really fun one. Love that El Higo Del Vikingo's getting his shine, although I wish he would win once in a while. Just saying. But yeah, just in general, man, like, I'm enjoying what they're doing. I like the direction that the company's going with this show. And it's got me hooked. And Better Than You, Baby definitely got me hooked. Story-wise, it's really well done. Blood and Guts was also a really good show, too. They killed it. They nailed it out of the park, in my opinion. I loved the brutality. For those who don't know, I'm a hardcore guy, somewhat. And I enjoyed that match. I really do. A lot of people are like, it was an embarrassment. Oh, God. Fucking whatever. Like, it's a fight regardless. It doesn't matter if there's broken glass or they just use fists. It's a fight. Get over yourselves. I'd rather have fucking regulations and rules on what not to use for glass than fucking just whatever. So yeah, good shit. I liked it. I liked that match. I liked the presentation of that. Obviously, I liked the MJF Adam Cole stuff. That dance-off was fucking hilarious, which is funny that they actually went that way. I'm sure that pissed Jim Cornette off. Don't care. Fuck you, dude. But yeah, really good stuff. They got me hooked. They got me hooked on the product again. I actually binge-watched a bunch of content from AEW the last couple weeks because of it. Because of the MJF Adam Cole stuff primarily, and the Punk stuff primarily. I'm very intrigued in what they're going. I'm very intrigued now that the Elite have signed. And the first match at All In, Adam Cole versus MJF, which, by the way, MJF Multiverse of Media, we are going to be covering that event. I will be on the call with Noah Foster for All In and All Out. And, yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, there you go. Yeah, man. I just kind of wanted to get that out there, man. Like, I'm enjoying AEW again, and I've really kind of taken a liking to the storytelling that they're doing. And it's really well done. So, congrats to everybody involved there. They all deserve a tip of the cap. And congratulations, by the way, again, on 200 episodes to everyone involved there. I I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they blend everything together. Yeah. I'm just going to enjoy it, man. I'm going to enjoy the ride and see where it takes us this time, you know? I'm not going to fucking worry about all the backstage drama. I'm going to just fucking avoid all that bullshit like the plague and see what they got, at least for this week, and, you know, just kind of enjoy it as a fucking fan. You know, they kind of got me back. They do have me back, and hopefully it's doing its job and getting other people to come in too. I think the added intrigue of MJF as a possible babyface, I don't think he's babyface yet officially, but I'm hoping he does go face eventually. I'm hoping he does. I really hope he does. Because I think it's time. And I think it would be super interesting going in the direction of MJF as a babyface when he was a heel for the first half of his championship run. If his second half can be the world championship as a face, this genuinely could be one of the most interesting world title runs in any wrestling company in years. Seriously. This could be like all-timer title run shit. If he could be the best babyface of all time, as well as the best heel of all time in the same run, dude. Forget about it. He's goated if he can pull this off, dude. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for that ride, man. I'm very intrigued on how they go about it. So that's been my side of things. Moral of the story, I've been having fun. I've been doing my things. I've been getting creative. And, yeah, I just felt like I needed to share some words of wisdom and share some stuff that I've been enjoying. So that's what I've been doing, basically. Just binge watching McJuggernuggets, Smosh, shit like that. Wanted to talk about the Will Smith and Chris Rock shit. Didn't know where else to put it, so I just put it in the beginning. Wanted to talk about Rhonda and how much of a coward she's been with creative, how she blames the fans. And by the way, I do want to point out, but before I even end this off, by the way, I don't. It is on the fans too. The fans were a bit harsh, but they're also casual fans, so they're not gonna know the inner workings like we do. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe a lot of them have become hardcore after the fact, but like I doubt many of the people that were there knew everything that was going on. They either they were just going with the fucking crowd, or I don't know. Like the fans are to blame somewhat, but not all the way. Is my point. They should get a very minority portion of the fucking blame there. I don't know if I made that clear before, so I'm making it clear now. But yeah, wanted to talk about that. Wanted to talk about Smosh a little bit more extensively, and yeah, just kind of update you guys on content that's coming up on the channels. So there you go. You saw the trailer earlier on. Go check out the FTW main hub for everything going on the main hub on all across our channels. Definitely give that a watch. Give that a sub. Give that a listen. While you're on your way to work or something. We got some stuff coming up in the pipeline, including new show coming up here on this channel called Character Select. Watch parties for Dynamite Go Home show for All In, as well as All Out. And I will make this announcement now. We are not doing Rampage per se. We're going to be doing Collision as opposed to Rampage this time. So it's going to be AEW Collision Go Home show and AEW Dynamite Go Home show. I think people are just kind of off the Rampage bandwagon. I would have liked to do a Rampage one just because it is an hour. I just don't see a lot of people getting into Rampage. It's tentatively right now. It may change. We may do a Rampage. We'll see. But as of right now, it's only Dynamite and Collision we're doing the watch parties for. So we are going to be doing the watch parties. We're going to enjoy the Go Home show. So stay tuned on FTW Productions, specifically on this channel for that. And also going forward. So anytime I'm on a Jeff Meacham Network watch-along event, the goal is one of us on camera is going to be hosting the watch party. So we are going to be doing watch parties for Jeff Meacham Network watch-alongs that will be airing after the watch-along event. That's kind of, I think, the idea we're going to be going with. We're going to test it out, see how it goes for the first show. We're going to see how SummerSlam goes. I'm going to talk to Zero tonight. I'm going to see what he thinks. So it might not be SummerSlam. It might be later. It might be during All Out. Honestly, I think we're going to try... Yeah, fuck SummerSlam, because I don't want to fucking overstress myself. So we're going to do it for All Out and All In. That's the plan. I'm going to talk to Casey. I'm going to talk to Zero. We're going to see how we're going to make this work. So long as... Because I can stream it because I'm going to be doing the watch-along call anyway. So as long as I can stream it with no issues, they can do their deal. Everybody can join in, have a good time. And yeah, that's kind of the goal I have. That's what we're going to try. And yeah, you'll get coverage on two different formats. You'll get the Jeff Meacham Network watch-along event. And then the following day, you'll get the watch party. So there you go. Yeah, that's essentially what's going to go on. And yeah, I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna add breaks like I did last time in there because there'll be a obviously a video release production and whatnot. So yeah, the boys have free reign. I won't be producing those. I won't be on the button. So that, especially if Zero's gonna be producing one of these things, I can only imagine it's gonna be chaotic after the last one. For those who haven't seen it, go check out the fucking... actually, you can just subscribe to my channel. If you're new to the channel, there's a Dynamite Go Home Show watch party for Double or Nothing. We did not do one on Forbidden Door, just because I just didn't feel like it. But yeah, we're definitely going to stick with the Go Home Show method. We'll definitely be doing these pay-per-views. And yeah. You'll just get them a day or a couple days late after the fact, and yeah, that's kind of the idea that we have going on. So there is going to be new content coming up on this channel along with Character Select, so that is one thing I did want to point out as well. But I think that covers everything on my side of things. So yeah, this is kind of a ramble session, JHebert Side of Things. I think I'm going to be doing this every 2 weeks because I enjoy talking with you guys. I think this is kind of what this podcast should be, instead of just fucking, oh, let me talk about one topic and research a bunch of shit, which was so fucking painstaking the last 2 times. Last 3 times, really. I kind of want to just talk about shit that maybe grinds my gears in some cases, but also makes me happy in other ways. I did promise before we go, I would be showing some cat videos, because cats are cute, and that is always how we're going to end every JHebert Side of Things, because I enjoy the furry felines. They are the cutest things. So that's how we're gonna end this podcast. Very positive. So here we go. I'm gonna just get the window capture. Actually, I gotta get display capture. Shit. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm ready. Here we go. Okay, so we got cat videos. It's time to enjoy.
Kiss.
So there's another cat in this little household here, and her name is Evie, and we're gonna play peekaboo with Evie.
What are you doing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she's adorable.
Well, that's nice.
Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Ah. Okay. We got more. We got more. Don't worry. I got 2 more. I got 2 more kitties. I might just be able to show you my no. Oh, let me try something. So I wanna just play a video and then see if it'll actually pop up in my watch history. It probably makes it a little bit better, a little bit easier. Hurry the fuck up! I don't want that air, you bitch. Ah, okay. See, I call everything bitches, even electronics. See, it's not exclusive. Okay, we got. Oh, that's right, because they're videos. Okay, that's why. I thought they were YouTube shorts. I don't know why I said awful. I said awful in a survey. I don't even know what it said. Oh, sheesh. I know you need ads, so I'll let it play. Because you got kitties, and you need to feed them, like, all the good stuff. So it's okay. Okay. Yep, that's in the watch history now, all the way to the top. And so is this one by now. So, yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so we got 2 more kitties, and then we got Moist Critical's kitty. And we're gonna play all of them. I'm gonna play this one from Charlie, actually, and then we'll end with the 2 cuter ones.
There's a Panda, Prime 6 shooter.
Oh, stop.
She wants to play. Into a massive YouTuber named Point Crow. Oh my god. What the fuck? And Nintendo even sent an assassin after me with Io here with that jump scare. Jesus. That was terrifying.
Oh, it's so cute. Hold on, there is one. Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is the funniest shit. Watch.
Stand back. I'm entering Stinko mode. I was about to hop in the shower, but I started watching a couple of Twitch clips as the water was getting hot, and it just...
He's doing a video, and someone zooms in on a cat just chilling in the ambiance. Charlie's voice. Oh, that's fucking classic. I think it's funny as hell. Okay, so we got 2 more, and then we'll wrap it up, I promise. So we got little Archie boy. He purrs and he meows so cute. He's so cute. He wants so much attention, and he's trying to work. So cute. This was my cat, by the way, all the time. When I was chilling, doing videos at my mom's house, George would always just climb up on the keyboard and just want pets, just like this. It's adorable. And yes, I watched Scammer Payback. By the way, I'll talk about that next episode probably. And then we have one more kitty.
I was making so much money.
This cat, by the way, I just want to say for the record, this cat purrs like a motorcycle. So, forewarning. There you go. Just letting you know. And while the soothing sats of a cat's purr goes onto the airwaves, this has been the conclusion of JHebert Side. Stay cute, you adorable feline furballs.